I was running out of time, running through my mind. I was thinking too much that day. I was upside down and inside out. Now my feet are back on the ground. I was running out of time, running through my mind. I was thinking too much that day. I was upside down and inside out. Now my feet are back on the ground.
Wow, it's been a minute. It's been a minute of me talking about this. But here we are. You knew this was coming. Y'all knew this was coming. Anyway, let's just get right into it, shall we? After the abysmal blunder that was 2K22 years ago, people were extremely skeptical on 2K22, including me, leading up to its release. However, as the weeks pass, and with getting gameplay and even showing how the double down controls from 2K20 works, one thing remains after its release. Does 2K22 really hit different? Short answer? Yeah.
You what?
I think 2K did a good job with this entry with the 2-year gap. So, welcome to After Playing Reviews. I am RexBebop, where I give you my positives as well as the negatives on a game and tell you whether or not, whether it's a buy now, wait till discount, or ignore altogether. So let's give a rundown of what I enjoyed and get to the positives. Let's do this shit. Alright, first positive, let's just get this out the way because it's the most obvious. The graphics. This game looks great. The models of the wrestlers look exactly who they're supposed to. The entrances with the new camera movement really make them pop and look lifelike, and even the titles are even pretty to look at too. Overall, 2K22 is a massive step up visual wise in comparison to the shit show that was 2K20. And yes, I'm going to bury 2K20 every chance I get. Okay, I'm putting that out there right now. Let's go to the next positive. The more arcade feel / the gameplay. As someone who can adapt to either the arcade style or the simulation style in wrestling games, 2K22 takes the more arcade approach, and I feel that's to its benefit because the selling is a lot better. Rather than hitting a move on your opponent and just having them on the ground for like a fucking hour, this game doesn't feel like it's playing in molasses. And it's really, really fun, even with the new control scheme, which I really didn't even think that would work with this, but it surprised me as I got more of a feel for the game. And I'm just floored how, like, someone takes a move, they'll get right back up after like a few seconds, rather than, okay, it's gonna take them a fucking century to come back and attack you. The computer will actually fight you on this. That's the other thing. The other thing is the CPU actually is a threat, which is like, oh, they really stepped up their game with the CPU this year, which makes you think like someone over there has been playing Day of Reckoning, because I've been playing Day of Reckoning leading up to this shit. It has more of a Day of Reckoning feel because the computer will fight your ass in this one. And a legend, oh god, I love it. I like it. I really do. Number 3, MyRise. Oh boy. After Red and Trey's busted ass story in 2K20 and really 2K barely even mentioning MyRise in the career mode, it was a very nice surprise to see that it works. That it's really good. You have the option between a male or female story. Both stories start off in the PC, and you can be either a face or an absolute menace to society. See examples.
Champion looks to be in complete control of this match. Despite all the outside noise, he's locked in tonight.
It's Johnny Gargano, and he's all over the champion.
Gargano's lost it. Wouldn't you, after everything the champion has said about Candice LeRae?
Speaking of Candice, it looks like she's here too.
And she didn't come empty-handed. Candice LeRae is going to get some revenge on the champion for all the lies and disparaging remarks. How do you know they're lies?
Wait, what is Dakota Kai doing here?
Apparently she sided with the champion in all this. Dakota nails Candice with a chair.
Low blow to Gargano.
I can't believe these two are working together. DDT under the chair.
seen Dakota Kai chime in on the champion's claims on social media, but now she just took her support to a whole new level.
I don't know about anyone else, but I'd really like some answers right now.
Whether there's any truth to all this or it's simply just mind games from the champion, it's certainly taking a toll on NXT's first couple.
She's gonna be out for a while. So the way I see it, since I'm the one who took her out, I'm the NXT UK Women's Champion now. That's right. This is mine. And I don't care what anyone, including our washed-up British windbag of a GM, has to say about it. But I was thinking, since Toni clearly couldn't get the job done with her little open challenge, I'm gonna show her how a real champion does it. Anyone who thinks they can take this title from me, come and give it your best shot. You won't beat me, but hey, at least after I'm done with you, Toni will have some company in the trainer's room. So who wants to step up and lose first? I'll be waiting with my championship.
Wait a second. You gotta be kidding me. Is this what I think it is?
We saw him invoke Eddie Guerrero's name on social media, and Rey Mysterio was not pleased, but this is way worse.
Yeah, this must be what he meant when he said he was going to visit the WWE archives. What a disgrace.
Him coming out here in Eddie's lowrider wasn't enough. Now he's copying his mannerisms. This is pathetic.
I know we're supposed to be impartial, but I hope Rey Mysterio, or anyone for that matter, makes him pay for this.
Well, he's certainly going to get under the skin of Mysterio even further than he already has. We'll have to see how that plays out. This could motivate Rey and completely backfire on him.
You can pick what story you want to commit to by going on Twitter. Yes, you can have a Twitter beef. You can start a Twitter beef in this game when someone posts something and then you click it and they just react to it. Y'all have a back and forth before you have an option of picking whether or not you want to commit to that story. And it gives you the prompt like, you want to commit to this? Because that's the story you're going to be locked in. And starting a feud that way, or just talking to someone in one of the 3 hub levels. You can even switch brands by receiving a DM from one of the GMs. Also, receiving challenge matches to increase your stats by talking to one of the people in the hub worlds as well. All in all, from what I've experienced from being an absolute menace in both the male and female stories, this is an genuine great time with how despicable your character can be in most of these stories. I'm going back and forth between faiths, but mainly I've been a menace to society. It is just amazing just how much of a dick you can be. Well, in the standards of how they can push this anyway. But it is amazing to me, and I actually genuinely gotta laugh every time I did something really dickish. I'm like, more of this, because after Red and Trey, this is genuinely good shit right here. This was great. I love MyRise. More of this being improved on for the next game would be totally sweet. All right, number 4, the roster. The roster has a lot of people that I thought would have been cut due to, like Keith Lee, Kyle O'Reilly, Jeff Hardy, Toni Storm, Mia Yim, Swerve, Samoa Joe. There's many that I thought would be vetoed because, they got cut. They got on the cut list. But, as luck would have it, this roster proves otherwise. Because now I have so many options with this game on who I want to be champion and whatnot for universe mode and shit. I like the roster that's presented this, even though it's outdated. I already know what people are going to say. It's outdated. What about this guy and this guy and this guy? I get it. I understand that. But for me, I'm talking about me personally, I absolutely love the roster that we got stuck with in this one. All right. Because there's so many of these people that I would have to download from community creations. But I will say this too. It is completely fucked how Braun made it in, yet Bray Wyatt isn't in. I want fucking Braun Strowman. I would rather have Bray Wyatt. If I could trade the two, I would have done that. Come to find out that Bray Wyatt has a daggone, like, new entrances and shit, and it's like he got cut. That's a bunch of bull. Anyway, that being said, let's get to the negatives. Alright, negatives. Number one, the showcase. I'm probably going to make a lot of people mad saying this, but the showcase mode this time around is probably the weakest it's been. Probably the weakest since its inception from 2K15. There's only 12 matches in total, including the bonus one. What's worse is that the Royal Rumble 2006 match is not included because, you know, reasons. I know why. But it's included in the promotional material for the game. They even said it was going to be in here, but it's not in here. The biggest offender in this is the triple threat match featuring Ray versus Orton versus Kurt Angle for the World Heavyweight Championship, which really skyrocketed Ray's career, is not included either. And unfortunately, Kurt Angle is not on the roster either. However, the worst thing about the showcase to me is, in fact, you can't even properly finish a match and pin your opponent, as Ray will narrate and the game will switch over to real life footage, which in past showcase modes, they never did that. Only good thing I can give the showcase is that it's a great way to actually learn how the game works and how the controls work. Other than that, this is a weak ass mode. Like, I really would have preferred the old how the old showcase modes did it as opposed to this. Just do it all in-game footage. If I wanted Ray to narrate over this, if I wanted to see the real life matches, I would just go on the network. I would go on Peacock and look at the fucking network. I don't know. It's just weak. Alright, second negative, my GM. Honestly, this is just okay for the most part. I can't really harp on GM mode too much because, or my GM too much, because I am someone who usually skipped over GM mode when I was younger. However, seeing what GM mode was versus what 2K brought in with their version, and there's a video out there on YouTube that shows this, it's really weak. You can't set tag divisions and you can't set a mid-card division. You are locked into making 3 matches with 2 promos attached for each card, except the pay-per-views where you can set 5 matches. It's just an okay mode to play. It's not fully bad and it's not fully good either. However, I would love to see this improve for the next game with a bunch of overhauls taking from the old game's GM mode. Just do that. Like, it's... just do that for the next game. It's just like, you have a lot of shit to work with, and I understand this is not the same people who made it. That was Ukes. This is 2K and Visual Concepts. I understand why they had to do their own version and get the feel for it, but it's... the work to use from the old games is out there. That's what people just didn't get, but I get it. Okay, I get why like everything from the old games wasn't transferred into this one because they had to do their own thing and shit. Not the same developers. I get that too. And 3, locked wrestlers. This is a weird one, but there are wrestlers whose alternate versions are locked behind MyRise, meaning you can't unlock them for whatever reason, like current day Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, Rebel Heart Johnny Gargano, Dominic Dijakovic, Goddess Alexa Bliss, normal Shinsuke Nakamura, and even Nikki Cross. I think there's even a playable Corey Graves too. Why play against these characters and then not be able to unlock them as playable characters? It's insanity. We see them, we can play against them, but we can't unlock them. It's fucking weird. And I think that there has been a 2002 Triple H behind my faction. In my faction that you can't play as either. Anyway, let's just get to my final thoughts. Alright, final thoughts on my buy, wait, and ignore ranking. I'd say if you've been waiting over 2 years to finally be done with 2K20 and just bury that shit in the backyard somewhere or throw it in the garbage, you would have already been playing this. Honestly, I'd say buy it now and get in some hours, honestly. 2K22 is a genuinely good time, but it has its flaws. But if you can look past the flaws, you will see a great WWE game is here. A good current WWE game is playable, which is not something I would ever say a few months ago. This is something I would never say. No, I'm not getting paid for this. For anyone says like, oh, Rex is getting paid. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm not getting paid by anybody. Just say this, okay? 2K, you don't get too many props out of me, like ever. You like ever since this started with 2K15, you have never gotten an actual like good job from me. But this, you did good. You did good. I didn't talk about universe mode because there's barely any difference here. It's just like they have a solo superstar lock system. It's like you basically have the classic mode where you basically like can, you know, play God mode, right? Right. And the other mode is like you pick a superstar, you're pretty much locked in there, and you go through the entirely of a year with that said superstar and shit. You got like wins, losses, and draws and all that. And my faction, I have not played enough of my faction to actually make a good judgment on it, but I can say this much: it's basically, this is gonna be how 2K gets their money. Basically, it's basically 2K Towers. 2K Towers like 3.0 basically, but with a card system implemented. Other than that, that's just okay. It's just okay from what I played so far. But yeah, 2K, you did good with 2K22, which is, I'm dead ass. I thought I would never say that months ago, like leading up to its release. But yeah, a good WWE game, a good modern WWE game is here. If you can look past the some of the flaws and and even the outdated roster, because I know that would be the first thing people would say. It's just like, no 2K, no NXT 2.0 people or whatever the fuck. And the DLC is gonna leave a lot to be desired, because it's either hit or miss for people. For me, it's like, I'm happy to see Boogeyman. I'm happy to see Umaga in here, and Xia Li, and Eddie Hartwell. It's just like, Mr. T, Logan Paul, what the fuck? What? Who the fuck's asking for these people? What? Like, they're real. I'm asking, like, legit, what? Like, MGK is gonna get powerbombed off the fucking stage, as far as I'm concerned. Like, he's gonna be cannon fodder. Basically, some of these people from this, from the DLC that's planned, are gonna be fucking like move fodder. This is gonna be taking like 100 finishers over and over and over, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, good job, 2K. I'm serious. Good job, guys. Anyway, I'm getting out of here. RexBebop signing out. Peace. See you when I see you.